morning. Thank you all for being here. Got some great, exciting news that we've been able to solve a homicide that's 30 years in the making. But first, before further ado, I want to introduce some special guests. We have Ginger Madden, our state attorney for the First Judicial Circuit. We have Michelle Sandler. She is the assistant. Michelle, are you come on up? Michelle Sandler from the Assistant State Attorney's Office. She's Assistant State Attorney. We have Chris Williams, Pensacola Special Agent in charge out of that field office. Mark Zager, Special Agent, Florida Department of Law Enforcement as well. Dr. Deanna Oleski, Chief Medical Examiner for District 1 Medical Examiner, who was critical in solving this case. Absolutely instrumental, her office was. Dan Shebler, which is Director of Operation, District 1 Medical Examiner's Office. And Chrissy Neaton, Chief Investigator, District 1 Medical Examiner's Office. Dave Nutting, which is Law Enforcement Liaison for Othram. And then our own case investigators, Investigator Kelly Henderson, and Investigator Aaron Pittman. I think I didn't, did I leave anybody out? Oh no, I got you, Zager and y'all. Thank you. All right, so the last unidentified victim of the notorious Happy Face killer has now been identified. She is no longer a Jane Doe. Keith Jesperson is now charged with murder and of the Jane Doe that we had previously known as Jane Doe since September of '94. He's been in prison in Oregon. He's already serving 7 life sentences for 7 other homicides between 1990 and 1995. He was caught in '95 and admitted to killing 7 others, in addition to the one he was originally charged with, for a total of 8. He committed these while being a long-haul trucker and killed these women in 6 different states, to include California, Nebraska, Wyoming, Oregon, Washington, and Florida. The relentless efforts of the OCSO, FDLE, Florida Medical Examiner's Office, and the State Attorney's Office, as well as the private lamb Othram, it was instrumental in us solving this case. Otherwise, it would likely still be unsolved. The victim is now known that she was 34 years old, and her family is in Wisconsin. Her identity is known as Suzanne Schellenberg. It's spelled KJ, but it is pronounced SH, Schellenberg. Her family obviously wants privacy at this time. With the new events that have unfolded and details, they're obviously dealing with that, so please protect their privacy. In February of 1996, Jesperson actually admitted to killing our victim. Unfortunately, we didn't know the identity of our victim, and admitted to killing someone in this area and dumping her body. We had him as a suspect early on, just didn't have an identity for our victim. The identity was not learned until March of 2023, this year, and that was after the District 1 Medical Examiner's Office sent to Othram Inc., which out of Woodlands, Texas, and they are specialized in genealogy DNA analysis. That development sent so while at Othram during the analysis, it was determined that they were able to narrow down a family member, and a family member gave a sample, and it became 100% DNA hit for Suzanne Schellenberg. The development sent our investigators Kelly Henderson, Aaron Pittman, and FDLE's investigator Mark Zager, as well as Michelle Sandler from the First Judicial Circuit, our First Judicial State Attorney's Office, to interview Jesperson. This interview was unannounced. He did not know they were coming, but he fully cooperated. And exactly 29 years to the day after her body was found, they went to Oregon to interview him. He talked openly about the murder and how it took place. He picked her up at a truck stop in Tampa and brought her up to the Panhandle. We don't know exactly where this happened, but he describes it as a rest area. He describes brutally on how he killed her. He alleges that she was sleeping in his bed, I'm assuming of his rig, and he was allegedly parked next to a security guard, and when he went to sit next to her, she began to scream. He said she would not stop screaming. He was nervous because he was concerned because he was not allowed to have authorized riders, and so he used zip ties, electrical zip ties, to cut off her airway, and then further used his fist forcibly to cut off her airway to the point where she was deceased. She was the 6th victim out of the 8 victims. We believe she's the 6th one he killed. And he talked about the murder openly, and he dumped her body a short time later in Holt on the side of the I-10, and was discovered September the 14th of '94 by a inmate work crew that was working along doing landscaping, and the body was found in a tree line. He's known as the Happy Face Killer because he sent the media details of his homicides and would always end it with a smiley face. He kind of got caught himself because the first murder he committed in Oregon, some random lady just said she killed the female along with her abusive boyfriend, which was not true, and he got upset by this, so he started sending media letters describing it, and he got no attention with that, or not enough, so he sent it to authorities, to which ultimately landed his prosecution for that case. Unfortunately, not before several other women had been killed. His first victim was in Oregon. Suzanne deserves a voice, and we're that voice for her today, and this case has been years in the making. There's others here that I've already introduced that we're going to recognize, and they're going to be able to tell you about their roles of their entities and agencies and how they were involved. But I want to say that investigator Glenn Barbary, who's retired, and FDLE agent Dennis Haley, that are retired, they were initial case agents, and they were instrumental in us at least obtaining a suspect early on. It's unfortunate that it took this long to bring this case to justice. But before I conclude and bring them up here, and we'll do question and answers after these individuals get a chance to talk, I want to reiterate how proud I am from these investigative team that we have, not just from the Sheriff's Office, but all these men and women standing up here before you. We've had over a dozen cold cases. We've really had a good reputation here at the Sheriff's Office for solving cold cases. We've solved over a dozen that I know of in the last 10 years, 7 since my administration began, some of which were 40 years old. We did a press conference about this earlier this year. And this particular one is 29 years. It's, again, the 7th one, and we've had national recognition on shows like Dateline and 48 Hours and Cold Justice. And it's solely because of a testament of the dedication and relentless tenacity of the investigative teamwork coupled with advances in forensic evidence that allows us to bring justice to Suzanne and her family nearly 30 years after her death.